Hey guys, just got a bit of a discussion video here for you today here in Death Must Die. Now, there are a few topics I want to talk about. First and foremost, Whistling Arrow Lorien down here. This thing needs some kind of change in its current form. It just does nothing against the bosses, and you really have to spec into it to get a really high damage output for it, and then it just does nothing against the bosses. The reason it does nothing against the bosses is in a 1v1 scenario, it just has nothing to bounce off of. And so it just hits the boss once, comes back to you, and just sort of goes on cooldown for a second. So unfortunately, it doesn't take advantage of that super fast attacks or movement speed, sorry, at 360%. So it can't do any real boss DPS, unfortunately. So you're going to have to start attacking, really, and get something else going. As you can see in this build here in particular, I put Flash of Inspiration on with Enchanted Arrows, so you can rely on some cast shenanigans in the background. I also put on the Catwalk here, so we get the extra 200 attack damage when we're not attacking for a while. Now, this is pretty cool. This does buff up the Whistling Arrow damage, so you can just run around. I've gone into Dash Recharge and Movement Speed. You can just run around, farming the map nodes, and let your Whistling Arrow do pretty much everything. It's pretty powerful until you get to the bosses, and then, man, you just can't do it. You can't do almost anything. It kind of sucks. I put just extra attack damage and charisma and stuff on this particular setup we got going here. Now, you could run the Whistling Arrow differently. You don't have to do it like this. The problem is, even when you stack up a pretty good chunk of attack damage, now this could definitely be higher too. I could sub out some of these pieces for extra attack damage, but even with 280 at base here, it's man, it's just not really doing a whole lot. I don't really have the greatest bows for Lorien that just have straight attack damage on them though. So you can buff up the damage here more than I have on this current setup here, but even so, it's still taking like 2 minutes or longer for some of these bosses. Is kind of crazy. This particular setup I had here with the Geminator was pretty fun though, because it just allows you to move around really quick, and you can just hit all the map nodes really fast. But so that's the Whistling Arrow Lorien. I think the Whistling Arrow needs some kind of change, so it can do some boss damage here. Second up, I just wanted to talk about this beta branch. It's been going on for like almost a month now, which, you know, it is what it is. If the procedural patch or Act 3 needs longer in development time, so be it. It is what it is. But I do feel like perhaps this beta branch, it feels like a bit of a distraction. I do think some things are needed, buffs and nerfs, obviously, but I don't know. I think at this point, maybe it's more valuable to concentrate on the new content more over than, you know, than balance at this point. I do think some kind of balancing needed to be done for some more build variety and stuff, and some of the characters were feeling pretty weak, so it's nice to have that, but at the same time, I feel like going on for longer than a month here in the beta branch feels like starting to feel like more of a distraction than anything else. I don't know. I would like to see the procedural patch Act 3 hit sometime soon. I don't know, we're already almost through September here, guys. I mean, originally the procedural patch was meant to be for the 1st of September. It is what it is, you know. If they need more development time to get these patches sorted out and Act 3 in a better place, you know, so yeah, it is what it is. I just feel like sitting here concentrating a good chunk of your effort just fiddling with values here instead of concentrating on getting Act 3 out. I don't know. Feels like maybe at this point it is a little bit of a distraction, and maybe you could better spend your resources on the future content at this point. One of the other things I'd like to see is just some more of the values here in the armory displayed. So we have a lot of options here, but there are still some things that are missing. Like life, for example. They did add luck over here though, which is nice. It's on strike. I don't know why they've added some more. So they are slowly adding stuff here. We have cooldown reduction there. but I don't think they've added life yet. Maybe they have. Let's have a look. Still got heals. No, so there are still a few missing here, so I'd like to see those added here as well. And one other thing I wanted to talk about here is I think it'd be interesting at some point moving forward in the game if they would have, I don't know, in between the larger patches, have some kind of in-game event, maybe the last, couple of weeks or something like that. Maybe it is a unique, I don't know, theme on one of the existing maps where they change a few things around, or maybe add, some different enemies, or I don't know. I think they did a Christmas celebration at some point, so some kind of event with a few uniques to chase and maybe a few extra armor pieces or something like that. That could be really fun, just something to get people kind of to come back to the game in between the larger patches, and just to sprinkle in a few more interesting things. I know some other games do, like, as I said, like Christmas events or Halloween events or whatever. I'm not particularly into Halloween personally. It's not something we ever really have celebrated over here where I live, so doesn't really do much for me personally, but some kind of seasonal event or something in between these larger patches to have just some, some other reason to come back into the game. I also think the 20-minute runs are cool. Having some kind of dungeon delve or something like that could be an interesting side mode to add once they've got through their 5 acts. I think something like that could be interesting as an additional endgame sort of thing, some kind of dungeon delve type mode where maybe there would still be some kind of timer or something akin to, I don't know, rifts or something like that, but you wouldn't want to just copy paste that sort of thing in here in this game. But some other way to test your builds other than just doing the 20-minute runs would be pretty cool. I know that's what this game is sort of focused on, so it would be something that will come, I think, after maybe the 1.0, or at least after Act 5 is launched. I think that would be pretty cool, though. I just think of some other games that I played over the years, having different events pop up in-game, gives you another sort of thing to look forward to, but also like an incentivization to keep going. I always thought, the early days of Destiny were always interesting when they had the kind of Iron Banner events, and they had they had the one event that never came back because it was kind of trash. But nowadays they have events pop up every, aside from the PvP events and stuff, but they have their seasonal events that come up once every 3 months and stuff like that as well. So I think something like that could be kind of interesting. Just something to kind of get the community to rally around the game, and to keep it interesting between the downtimes between major sort of content patches. Another thing that would be really cool would be some kind of secrets as they go forward with this game. Having some kind of secret quest or something inside some of these maps that is, takes a bit to either figure out or unlock. And maybe it could have a few steps to it too. It wouldn't just be a single unlock or something like that. But I think I've said in one of my other videos too, having something on the map aside from just running the map nodes, I think could be kind of interesting. I know one of the guys over in the Discord had mentioned like some hidden dungeons on the map, and a dungeon delve is one of the things I mentioned earlier. So I kind of align with that sort of thinking. I think something like that could be pretty cool, but some kind of more secretive type quests, how I think in Vampire Survivors of Progression, it was kind of hidden from the player. There was some pretty cool secrets for you to find as you go along there. It wasn't just about beating the runs, But I think a lot of games do secrets pretty well. Some of them do them kind of poorly too, I guess, but having some kind of secret that the community can rally around to try and figure out together, I think could be pretty cool. Maybe it would have to be pretty cryptic, otherwise someone would just figure it out straight away and then spread the answer online, you know what I mean? But some kind of secret that would bring the community together to try and figure it out, I think would be really, really cool to see. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in to another video. Smash like and subscribe if you like this one. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day. Take it easy.